Hysteria, exaggerated or uncontrollable emotion, especially among a group of people. This idea of hysteria has perpetuated itself throughout history in the Salem witch trials and the Lindbergh baby kidnapping. Charles Lindbergh completed the first transatlantic flight in 1927, going from New York to Paris. This earned him international fame and made the kidnapping of Charles Jr. Lindbergh on March 1, 1932, a very publicized event. After receiving multiple ransom notes, the baby was found dead near the home. The search for the killer gained national attention, and a German immigrant named Bruno Richard Hauptmann was arrested. His trial was a media frenzy, and he was convicted of kidnapping and extortion on mostly circumstantial evidence, but was still sentenced to death on the electric chair. Despite numerous appeals, he was already convicted in the public eye and executed on April 3, 1936. The Salem witch trials and the Lindbergh baby kidnappings have many similarities. The most obvious one is that they were both legal cases. The Salem witch trials were based on biblical code, while the Lindbergh baby kidnapping was based on strictly legal code. Hysteria can be seen in both events, as the accused are already convicted in the eyes of their peers. Both trials used weak evidence. Hauptmann said that the police forced him to make his handwriting match that of the ransom note, and spectral evidence was accepted in the trials at Salem. In both trials, the accused maintained pleas of innocence, only to be executed. Both trials reflect the role of hysteria in the condemning of someone who at any other time would be found innocent. By looking at the Hauptmann trials, one can better understand how public condemnation played a role in sealing the deaths of the accused in the Salem witch trials, as well as the McCarthy trials. By understanding the ulterior motives present in the Salem witch trials, a chance for Abigail to better her status, and for the Putnams to grab more land, one can understand the convenient manner in which McCarthy elevated his political career, and how the public cry for justice produced a guilty verdict for Hauptmann. By writing The Crucible, Arthur Miller could better understand how these factors, coupled with hysteria, can produce such irrational results in the 1960s. These events occurred because of the natural reaction of humans of finding someone to blame. Reverend Parris needed someone to blame for the sickness of his daughter, the American public needed someone to blame for the death of Charles Lindbergh Jr., and someone needed to be held accountable for the communist fear. Sprinkled throughout history, these events go to show that when hysteria is involved, nothing good happens.